Anytime our application accepts user data, we need to validate and sanitize that data against what the application expects to ensure that we are not introducing vulnerabilities within the application, such as SQL injections and other command injection type vulnerabilities. We should avoid hard coding credentials and secrets within our applications. These include API keys and tokens and other secrets such as connection strings to data stores and other critical components of our applications that these can provide access, unwanted access to without the proper channels such as authentication and authorizing before having access to those. And then we can talk about the use of secure libraries and frameworks. A lot of our applications today are designed using libraries and frameworks that are out there. We can either customize these libraries and remove components and elements of it that our applications don't need to ensure that we are using these libraries safely. And then we can handle errors in login to ensure that our applications fail safely. And in terms of login, anytime there's potential misuse of the application, we can go back to logs to ensure that we can do some forensics within that application. And then code and standards. Code and standards is one of the biggest things that we need to enforce throughout our development lifecycle. This includes having like the processes and policies in place to ensure that developers or engineering teams are following certain standards when it comes to developing securely and ensuring that we can provide the training and other resources to developers to help them with that shift left mentality, as I mentioned earlier. And then we can talk about safe serialization and deserialization. This is ideally about how we handle data, how we package and unpackage data within our applications. It is always ideal to ensure that we're doing this safely because these can also tend to be ways that introduce bugs and vulnerabilities within our applications. And then we can talk about protecting shared variables and resources, especially when we're talking about concurrent use within our applications. This include environment variables and other application variables that we call during application runtime. Then we can talk about avoiding direct interaction with the system. A lot of times, certain applications are designed to interact with other systems within our environment. We should always code our application and design our application to avoid these kinds of interaction at a minimalistic approach so we can avoid any kind of malicious attack or malicious exploit of a vulnerability within our application having a downstream effect on other systems within our environment.